WrestleMania is known as the grandest stage of them all for a reason. This annual extravaganza has given us some of wrestling's most iconic moments, unforgettable storylines, and let's not forget matches that had crowds so hyped from the start to finish. But hey, not everything goes according to plan. Even WrestleMania has had its share of underwhelming matches that left fans scratching their heads. And what's worse, sometimes those matches come with sky-high expectations, thanks to WWE's hype or fans' excitement, only to fall flat. Welcome to Bell Wrestling, where we grapple with all things wrestling in and out of the ring. If you live and breathe wrestling like we do, then hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a video this WrestleMania season and beyond. The matches we're talking about today were hyped for their star power, their stakes, and their dream match potential. Matches that delivered in other promotions but flopped on the grandest stage of them all. So let's jump into the fray and break down why these matches didn't live up to the hype. We start with a long-awaited twin showdown between Jimmy and Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40. The story? Incredible. In 2023, the Usos split from the Bloodline and even pinned Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank. Jey then went on to challenge Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam, only for Jimmy to betray him, helping Roman to retain the title. Jey left SmackDown for Raw, seemingly done with his brother. The tension reignited when they entered the Royal Rumble at number 1 and number 2, and caught fire when Jimmy cost Jey an Intercontinental title match against Gunther. The build was solid, but the match not so much. It was short, repetitive, and fans dubbed it as the Super Kick Fest. Jey got the win, but this one didn't come close to the emotional payoff that fans expected. The addition of Shinsuke Nakamura to the main roster was one of the most highly anticipated moments due to Nakamura's rich history and storied wrestling career. When WWE pulled the trigger in 2018, and with Nakamura winning the Royal Rumble match, the fans were hyped. This was a star that fans wanted to see succeed, and with Shinsuke's rapid push to the top, it felt like WWE was finally listening to them. Nakamura went on to challenge AJ Styles at WrestleMania to the sheer delight of fans. The two had faced off once before in New Japan, so fans were expecting another 5-star classic. Their match in New Japan was a technical and high-flying masterclass, and fans were more than excited to see what they'd be able to pull off in a bid for WWE's most coveted prize at its most prestigious event. This was one of the most anticipated matches in a long time, but at Mania, the magic just wasn't there. The match felt safe, lacking standout moments, and the finish, with Styles retaining and Nakamura turning heel, well, it just felt flat. Fans wanted greatness and got mediocrity. What do you think, though? Did fans build this one up just a little too much, or was it really as underwhelming as it felt to us? Let us know in the comments below. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt had an interesting relationship in the late 2016. Orton had joined the Wyatt family for a brief period of time, even winning the Brand Warfare Survivor Series match between Raw and SmackDown with Bray Wyatt by his side. Wyatt and Orton were part of the 2017 Royal Rumble match, surviving to the final 3 alongside Roman Reigns. Reigns eliminated Wyatt, but Orton would go on to eliminate Reigns, securing his championship match at WrestleMania 33. Wyatt would go on to win the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber prior to the WrestleMania, setting the stage for Orton versus Wyatt. And this is where their feud really started to heat up, quite literally, as Randy burned down the Wyatt family compound. This was set to be an intense, brutal, personal clash between the two. The match was sure to be one for the ages, right? Well, instead we got weird ring projections of worms and bugs, a bizarre distraction that killed the atmosphere and left fans disinterested. The in-ring action felt subpar for a WWE Championship match, and Orton's win left fans underwhelmed. A match between the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose and the Beast Brock Lesnar sounded really compelling on paper. Add in the stipulation of a no-holds-barred street fight at the behest of Ambrose, and fans just knew that they were in for a delight of violence. Even the hardcore legend himself, Mick Foley, met Dean Ambrose prior to the WrestleMania showdown and gifted him with a barbed wire bat. But despite the anticipation, this Mania match turned out to be one of the most disappointing matches of all time. People were expecting this match to be a full-on hellacious bloody brawl, but that's not what we got at all. Instead, the match felt like a total afterthought, with Lesnar picking up yet another dominant win in a short, uninspired bout, which barely utilized the street fight stipulation at all. Fans expected blood, brutality, and madness. What they got felt more like Lesnar punching the clock and heading home after finishing his chores. The first WrestleMania clash between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg came at WrestleMania 20, and at the time, both of these superstars were absolute behemoths. This was during the early years of Lesnar's career, when the next big thing was an unstoppable force. What other stage but WrestleMania could the likes of these two giants face off? But one factor turned this from one of the most anticipated Mania matches to one that fans just didn't care about at all. Before the match, news broke that both Lesnar and Goldberg would be leaving the WWE after WrestleMania. The fans were infuriated. The crowd hijacked the match, booing both Lesnar and Goldberg the entire time. They had no interest in any of the spots, and today, the match is remembered not for how great it was, but for how universally hated it was. This is one of the finest examples of WrestleMania matches being overhyped with star power only to leave fans disappointed. A match between John Cena and The Undertaker at WrestleMania was an absolute dream. The fact that Taker's iconic WrestleMania streak didn't include a match against Cena in it was genuinely shocking. When we finally got this dream match, the streak was over. Taker was way past his prime, and Cena was only a part-time wrestler. In 2018, Cena wasn't on the WrestleMania match card, but he made it clear that he wanted to compete. This led to Cena issuing a challenge to The Undertaker, building anticipation week after week as he continued to call Undertaker out without any response. Cena even joined the WrestleMania 34 crowd as a fan, since Taker made no hint at accepting the challenge. Taker did finally take the bait after it was revealed that he was in the building during the event, but the match was a blink and you'll miss it squash match. No big moments, no drama, just a quick win for Taker that left fans disappointed and asking, wait, that's it? WrestleMania 8 featured Hulk Hogan and Psycho Sid in a dream WrestleMania match between two of the biggest names in WWE in the early 1990s. A match like this had all the makings of an instant classic, but unfortunately, it was a far cry from legendary. The match was slow, clunky, and most importantly, aimless. The cherry on top of it all, a non-finish. Papa Shango interrupted and caused a DQ. Fans were left wondering what could have been. The Montreal Screwjob is one of the most famous controversies in the history of professional wrestling. When Bret Hart got screwed over in a match against Shawn Michaels by Vince McMahon as Bret was set to depart for a rival company in WCW, this led to an extremely bitter relationship between Bret and the WWE for several years. But in 2010, it was announced that Bret Hart would be coming back to the WWE, and that soon led to a no-holds-barred match between Bret Hart and Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 26. Fans were excited to see the Hitman in action again. Despite his age and his declining health, and for him to have a chance at revenge against the man who done him so wrong so many years ago, well, the hype was massive to say the least. But all that hype quickly went down the drain once the match was underway. Instead of a fight, we got a one-sided beatdown that dragged on way too long. Bret won the match, but the fans were left with one of the most anticlimactic Mania matches ever. Some even wish that it never happened. We'll be covering the latest developments on that, so make sure that you're subscribed for more deep dives into WWE's biggest rivalries. This is just the beginning.